Next year will mark 50 years since the assassination of Robert F. Kennedy. He was shot and killed at the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles shortly after winning the California presidential primary. Chris Matthews, host of MSNBC's Hardball, looks beyond the tragedy to the man himself in a new book called Bobby Kennedy, A Raging Spirit. Chris, good morning.
Thank you.
You're such a Kennedy scholar, and I wonder your reaction. I mean, last week we saw some of these formerly classified files opened up. What struck you?
Well, I stayed up till midnight that night. I went through them all, and I found some interesting stuff about Bobby because I've been working for years on Bobby. And I thought it was interesting that even though he went along with the Warren Commission, he and his brother Ted Kennedy both said they completely believe in it for logical reasons, like the parade route hadn't been set till the day before. So how could anybody put a conspiracy together? But he always harbored in his mind this guilt that maybe going after the bad guys, as he put it, all those years on the rackets committee.
Bobby going after the mob.
He was going after Giancana, the Godfather. He was going after Castro. And he never always was one of those guys behind the thing, behind what happened in Dallas.
Were they doing it in retribution to Bobby?
He
so
said
he felt guilt?
Well, he said it could have been me. And I think he meant it should have been him because he was the guy doing the tough work of catching bad guys and especially mobsters.
The book is such an interesting read, and you know, obviously so much of Bobby's life was in comparison to Jack or in reference to Jack, and I'll just stick with that. I mean, as little kids, I mean, how did their experiences differ with their parents?
Well, Jack was this sunny prince. He was a happy-go-lucky, everybody charming guy. Arthur Schlesinger said something brilliant about them. He said that Jack was a realist pretending to be a romantic. Jack was not a romantic. He was cold-blooded in many ways, but very charming. And Bobby was trying to be he always came off as the tough guy, the relentless one, the ruthless one, and yet he was the romantic. Bobby was the good guy. I mean, he really was the one who got us through the Cuban Missile Crisis. He was the one who really pushed for civil rights. I mean, he said to Jack, go on television, you got to do this thing. And he fought for Ole Miss desegregation. He fought George Wallace. I mean, he did a lot of really good things. But mostly, I think, this picture, the back of the book, is what I was inspired to write this book about. This is a white working class family. And there were so many along the train tracks when his funeral train went by. Those people, look at them, saluting the guy. I mean, this is America that's gone now. This unity of African Americans and white working class people together. It was the same kind of patriotism together, and I think Bobby brought them together, and ever since then they've been divided. And I think that's the division we have in this country now.
And that was Bobby later in his political career.
Yeah, in the end.
Early in his political career, I mean, he did a lot of the enforcement stuff for his brother. You tell a story in the book that I just cringe over. I mean, you should retell it real quickly. The part about LBJ and how Jack Kennedy dispatched Bobby at the convention in 1960.
Jack picked LBJ because he needed the South
to be his VP.
He was fairly cold-blooded about it. He didn't like Johnson that much. He said, look, I need this guy to carry Texas, Georgia, a few other southern states, or I won't. As a Roman Catholic, I'm going to have a hard time down there. Bobby was remembering that Johnson was the one spreading rumors about Jack dying. He was sick, spreading rumors about the old man saying he was pro-Nazi. And Bobby didn't forget this stuff. Bobby was Irish.
So Jack sends Bobby into LBJ's hotel room.
Basically trying to shake him loose, but LBJ wasn't going to get shaken loose. And then Jack, of course, called up later and said Bobby isn't in the loop. A lot of times he would have Bobby do this.
He threw Bobby under the bus.
Well, he did it. You know, he just needed him. He needed him to do the job. He had him. Governors, he would go in the back room with a governor and then come out thinking, "Oh my God, I spent 2 hours with Bobby." But Jack was always loved. But you know what it is? A friend of the family told me, a member of the family told me this. He'd spent his whole life chasing bad guys, but he said he decided one thing. The villains of this world create their own hells on earth. So focus on the victims. And that became the later part of his life, looking out for the people in trouble.
Well, the book really delves into that. Chris, thank you so much. The book is called Bobby Kennedy, A Raging Spirit. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
By the way, you can find more about it at today.com/shop.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.